Hey everybody, hope everyone is doing well today. Anyways, so here we are back on our Let's Play series, doing some harvesting and replanting, like so, and hollowing out this part of the cliff, which I think would make a wonderful spot for my enchanting setup once I have an enchanting table. Building a dock for my boats to stay in when they're not busy being driven around. Finally getting around to installing a staircase on this way up the hill here, so we don't have to jump over and over and over again. Putting finishing touches on said staircase. And finally getting around to exploring again. So, the other day I mentioned that I had done some exploring off camera, and down here is one of the things that I had managed to find. And oh boy, a little further exploration revealed that it is very close to another thing, right? So the first one we saw is a skeleton spawner, which is great. I love skeleton spawners because A, they're good for experience, and B, they're good for bones and bone meal. And C, as an aside, they also drop an immense number of arrows and bows. So I usually end up using the bows for fuel in my furnaces, or using them to construct certain redstone components that need them, such as the dispenser. And the other spawner was a cave spider spawner. So, very good. So this area here is actually basically a shaft that leads all the way back up to my base. So from that shaft down this hallway, we can reach the skeleton spawner and the cave spider spawner. So what I want to do though is I'm really tired of climbing that ladder all the way up and down to get from here to my base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install a bubble elevator. So on the left-hand side, it will eventually be just a drop zone where you fall down into water and thus take no damage. And on the right side, we're going to have some soul sand. But in order to do this, I need to basically, well, I mean, there's a lot of different ways I can do this, but the way I'm choosing to do it is to have a barrier in between the fall, the drop zone and the bubble elevator. And if you were counting, it's a really long way down. Basically -48 all the way up to sea level. So once I install the bubble elevator, it'll be zip all the way up really fast, and I can just hop down on the other way easily and land down at the bottom in mere seconds. Definitely worth doing, but it does take a little while to do. I need to make sure that, yeah, I've probably got a bunch of holes down there. But anyways, in the bubble elevator, the way it works is you essentially have water source blocks the entire way going up. And so essentially a bucket of water in every single square from the bottom to the top of it. However, since the aquatic update came out, there is a very easy way to go about making sure it's a bubble elevator the whole way. And that has to do with seaweed or kelp. So if you have a single source block of water at the very top of your shaft that goes, basically it'll flow all the way downwards. At the very bottom you plant some kelp, and the thing about kelp is it can grow inside of water that is not a source block. So if you have water above it, and it doesn't have to be a source block of water, like placed by a bucket, it could be way, 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 way far away. When the kelp grows, it replaces that block that it's in with a source block of water. So essentially, you can grow from the bottom to the top your kelp, either by placing kelp itself or putting down a kelp and hitting bone meal until it stops going. And the kelp will reach all the way up to that very top block of water. And when you remove the kelp, every single block of water is a source block. So this is how it works in practicality. Now, let's make our way all the way down to the bottom. Anyways, I should make sure everything is lit here because I hear very scary noises when I go back down towards the bottom here. anyways, this is, you can tell why I want to stop doing this with the ladder, right? So, oh, I think actually, I should have put that soul sand 1 block lower. That's okay, I'll just move it. The other thing is that I need to place signs. So what the signs do is they will prevent, they will prevent water from leaking out. So you can use signs, and you can also use fence gates. And there's a couple other ways where you can prevent water from flowing out of a water block. So let's bring the kelp all the way up to the top. Now, thinking about this, I probably should have counted how far this is. I'm gonna run out of air halfway up here. So what I'm gonna try and do is I'm gonna try and swim into this little cubby hole here. That was lucky. Yeah, always be careful of that. Make sure that you make a spot part way up where you can actually, you know, breathe. Very important. And there we are, all the way up to the top. Sounds dark outside. Let's maybe sleep for a sec. Okay, now that we have had a good night's sleep, I think it's time to consider automating our first automation here of hauling stuff up from below. So as I mine down below, I'm going to collect tons of resources and stuff, and what I want to be able to do is just be able to drop it off in that water stream and have it fly all the way up to the chest up here. But in order to do that, I'm going to have to make use of water streams. So, let's see here. I'm gonna have, iron. Yoink. Is that it? Yeah, well, okay, enough distractions. So I'm gonna have to lower the chest down. I'm basically gonna run a hopper into it, and allow the water stream to come up and push items down over into the hopper, and therefore into the chest as well. So let's get that hopper. We're going to place it into that block, and then we're going to replace that block with a chest below. I think maybe we'll also put a sign here to prevent the water from going further. That might not be enough to stop items from overshooting the hopper if the hopper's full, but we'll deal with that in a little while anyways. Won't be a big deal. The thing about chests is you can't stick a solid block on top of them, so I'd have to use a half slab or something, or perhaps some stairs. But anyways, here's our fundamental setup. So the theory is that something in the water stream gets shot up to the top, and then we'll just flow over to the side. So let's head on downwards, and let's see if this works the way we expect it to. Now, I will at some point remove all of this ladder and just create a drop chute, and what I'll probably do is I will run a ladder along the back of that center column that I have there, so that I can go to individual levels rather than all the way down. And oh, there's a leak. Boop. One there too. Boop. Is that it? There we go. Okay. Yeah. I'm not super concerned about leaks, but it is nice to plug them up. Unintended water can, for instance, you know, wreck torches that you have placed very carefully to light up areas down below, depending on how it flows. I try to keep that clean wherever possible. So, we break the kelp, and in theory, all of it should fly up and should end up in the hopper and the chest. So, why don't we go have a look? The nice thing about the bubble column is that it provides oxygen the entire way up as well. So no matter where you hop in at it, you will never run out of air, which is a bonus. So, probably want to prevent... That might not work, but yeah, there. Well, haha. There's our seaweed, our lovely kelp. So yeah, it appears to be catching it. I might have to twiddle around with the Haven't done this quite this way in quite a while. I might want to have a half slab instead of a full slab there, but we'll see how it goes. What should I do now? Let's check on the status of things. And I think we'll start using potatoes as food now. We have so many of them, they're a lot easier to deal with than fish. But if I go on any dangerous adventure, I'll probably bring fish with me. Okay. You know what? I think I'll try and carve my way over to that new area that I made for the enchanting setup. So let's just get rid of this here. And if I just make my way this way, without actually busting out. Yeah, see, I don't want to quite do that. Should be able to find my way over to the enchanting area and the nether portal. I'll just make this a little bit bigger. I'll do some proper decorating on this later, not necessarily in this episode, might do it off camera, but we'll just tidy it up a bit. And I think I want the door to be here, so let's just fill this in here. And there. Interior decorating at its finest. Stick the door here. Excellent. The door works. I think I'll make a descent into a mine shaft in that little spot there at some point. Okay, so this is probably as far as we can get away with here. But I think I want to move the wall over just a little bit. There. Okay. So we still have a view out into the ocean, which is nice, from where the enchanting area is going to live. And here is the nether. I was both lucky and unlucky. So, lucky in that the nether portal basically spawned inside of a bastion, which is a structure introduced in the nether update. I can't remember which version of Minecraft it was, but anyways, the bastion is a really cool structure, but it's also really dangerous to start with. So, what I did is I blocked in my nether portal quite quickly, and I managed to capture one of the piglins. So bastions are full of these things called piglins, and piglins basically are aggressive to you unless you're wearing some sort of gold. So I brought with me a gold helmet. I ran out really quickly, came back with a gold helmet, and most of the piglins will not attack you when you have a gold helmet on. I guess they feel like you're part of their community because you've got gold. They love gold. They get angry if you harvest gold. They get angry if you open chests, and will attack you regardless. But if you're wearing gold, they don't attack you outright to start with, right? Like they will just sort of like let you wander around, except for one kind of piglin, which is the piglin brute. Those ones are nasty, and they'll attack you no matter how much gold you wear. So yeah, piglins like bling. Anyways, I am going to need some nether quartz, first of all for experience, and second of all, I will need it to make comparators. Comparators are going to be a big part of the sorting system that I would like to have in our base. And that spot where the chest is, I definitely want to expand that and create a proper storage system there. So, one that sorts. So that way I can just chuck stuff into the water stream down below. It'll fly up and it'll automatically get sorted into the correct spots where I want it to go. But for the moment, I think we'll just do a little bit of mining here in the nether and see what we come up with. Okay, well, that looks like a bit of nether gold. And nether gold is really great, but I am not going to mine it yet. If you use it, if you use a regular pickaxe and mine it, it will drop gold nuggets. However, if I'm able to get a silk touch enchantment on a pickaxe, then I can pick up the whole block, and each of those blocks will smelt in an actual gold ingot. Way better. So rather than getting, 3 or 4 nuggets, it's much better to get a 1 solid gold ingot out of it, which is what happens when you harvest it with Silk Touch. Anyways, oh, a Crimson Forest. This is great. Haha. There's lots of stuff in the Crimson Forest that is very interesting to me. Anyways. Decent vein here. Yeah, one of the nice things about gold ingots is that you can take it and you can trade it with the piglins. So when I came over to the Nether, I first barricaded the area around my portal to make it safe, but then I also captured 1 piglin. So what we'll do, I'm going to keep him trapped in there and just figure out some way that I can safely, get close to him. Probably with half slabs. Like that. Yeah, I think that'll do it. But anyways, the idea is just to be able to chuck gold on the ground close to him, and he'll pick it up, and he will drop at his feet something. So piglin bartering is really great. You can get all kinds of really interesting stuff with it. Anything from like more obsidian to some spell books that have to do with soul speed for your boots. All kinds of stuff. Nether quartz, nether bricks, etc. The other thing too is that things just come through the portal when you have a portal there. Oops. Actually, how about decoration? Yeah, so anyways, the thing about nether portals is that things will leak through from that side to our side. And I'll probably put a gate or something at some point in there to stop that. No gold at the moment. Anyways, why don't we get back to our way down here? I think I'll start getting rid of the ladder. Because eventually we want to be able to just drop down to the bottom on this side, Really quick way to get all the way down to our skeleton cave spider farm quickly. Man, there are a lot of ladders. It took a long time to get all the way down there. This place here. Let's see. Yeah. I think as I go down, I'll build the ladder back up in this direction, so that way we have a way to get back up easily, or a way to go down to a specific level if we want to, as opposed to going all the way down to the bottom. One of the things I like to do while I'm digging upwards like this is I do like to place a torch at the foot level. So, where is that coming from? Anyways, if you dig and there happens to be gravel above you or sand, the sand will fall down and suffocate you. But if there's a torch there, the torch causes it to break into, it breaks the sand. I really wish I could figure out where that sound is coming from. Let's light that up again. It feels like it's close here, so let's just see. A whole lot of gravel here. Oh, that looks like a chamber. I should probably try and light that, because it sounds like it might make matters worse if it's not. Oh, it is a spawner. It's a spider spawner. This is good. Really close, too. Assuming I can survive this encounter here. Nice thing about spiders, regular spiders, is that they are not poisonous. The cave spiders are much nastier. Huh, okay. Well, That's actually really cool. Oh, there's good loot. Yes. Diamond armor. Infinity enchantment. This is a good haul. Now let's check out... name tag. Excellent. Wow. Yeah, so usually these dungeons have pretty good loot in them. Quite often you'll find very good things like saddles and horse armor and whatnot. That's really nice. And name tags. Name tags are important because sometimes there are creatures that you want to keep alive, and normally they would just despawn, so you need to use a name tag on them. Plus, you can also give names to the creatures that you love. So, for instance, our horse, I'll have to think of a name for our lovely horse upstairs. But yes, spawners, I love them. Now, I wonder. Yeah. Anyways, let's work on this ladder a little bit longer here. I'd like to at least make it, safe to come up and down to this level now that I know that there's a spawner here. I'll probably build a trap around it, as well as at some point doing one around the cave spider as well. Now, it's a pretty long drop. Keep working our way upwards, though. But anyways, yeah. So the one at the very bottom of this shaft, the skeleton cave spider combo, I'm trying to decide what I want to do with that. It is possible to make it so that, they're both active at the same time because they are close to each other. I'm not sure if I want to do that or not, or if I want to have some alternate way of activating one or the other rather than having them both running at the same time, although it is possible to do both at the same time. And actually, if I were to pick and choose, I would probably want to have the skeleton spawner, the one where I would use my actual manual killing to kill the skeletons, because you get more loot from them, especially if you have looting. Whereas the cave spiders, they will basically, no matter what, they will drop string and spider eyes, as far as I know. So it's not really necessary to kill them yourself manually, so they could just sort of be, killing themselves in the background. But I haven't decided yet, so I'll let you know when I figure that out. There's me going against my own advice. If you do tunnel upwards, by the way, without using the torch trick at your feet to break those blocks, and some sand or gravel comes down on you, all you have to do is mine it. So I would continue facing straight up, and then I'd quickly, switch over to using a shovel. Is this where we are? Yeah, this is the top. Okay, switch over to a shovel, and then if you break those blocks fast enough, you won't choke to death. However, it's risky. And it's nighttime, so I should probably sleep the night away. Now, thinking about it, I'm pretty sure that what I ended up doing here with the chest is not going to work, so let's give it a try. Yeah. As I thought. So things will not flow through there because the water stream bounces it straight up. It's not necessarily going to flow to the right. So there does need to be a gap in there. Okay, well, I think that's okay. Yeah, it's a long way down. Okay, so I'm going to head back down and do a little bit more work down here to try and fix up the water stream so I have an easy way to pop things into it without, getting pushed away by it. And possibly clear out some space around the spawner. But what I'll do is I'll probably do the spawner construction on camera so that you can see what it is like to build one of them. And I may do more than one in one episode just to give you an idea. Different creatures require slightly different handling when you're creating a spawner, grinder around them. So anyways, let's call it here for the episode. I hope you had a good time and enjoyed it. And please stay healthy, stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.